Yo, scapers! It's day 2 of the leaks reveals, and it's once again a banger of an artifact. There's also like some small interactions that people might have missed that are actually like really powerful. So let's just basically just jump right into it. Before I start, this is an invention-related relic, basically. So I'll quickly explain for like people that are maybe new to RuneScape 3 what the invention skill actually is. It's currently the only elite skill in the game, which basically means that you need to complete some other skills, or at least get level 80 and 3 other skills to be able to unlock it. These skills are crafting, smithing, and divination. I probably talked about them as well in my my first video. So that's important to know. And basically what the skill does is you augment gear and tools to give you like some nice perks. The way you gain XP is by leveling up these tools and gear by using them, so fighting monsters, training your skills, and then you can siphon the experience out of your gear. So that's the way you do that. And that being said, let's just jump into whatever this perk is to offer. The first one is infinite invention materials. Invention materials you can get by destroying items using the disassembly button or ability, because it's also in your ability book. This destroys the item and gives you some materials back, and these materials are used to actually make the perks in the invention skill. The other thing is augmented items and machines don't consume any charge. Invention machines are something we touch on later, and you have, of course, invention items. These are your tools and your gear. They use charges, sort of an energy system. These charges are made with divination. So if you picked this relic and the woodcutting divination, you kind of got an anti-synergy in there, because you picked the one relic that gives you a lot of energies, and then you also grab a perk that means that you don't use any energy, or at least not for the main use. So that might be something you don't want to do. This basically means that you have no maintenance for any of your invention items. So that's really great. Well, almost no, but the major cost point is gone. The second bonus is helpful perks will trigger 10% more often. This increases the effect itself by 10%. This is not a flat 10%. So, for example, the biting perk, for people that know that one, is a really important relic. Gives you a 4% critical strike chance if you have the highest level, biting 4. If you have this perk, you will now have a 4.4% chance to crit. So that's a 10% on the effect. Important as well, it says it does not stack with the item level 20 benefit. As I said earlier, you can level your items and then you siphon the XP out of them. The max level of an item is level 20, and the benefit they get is if an item if a perk can trigger, you get a 10% increased trigger chance. So basically, this perk makes it so that whenever you have it, item level no longer matters. You always get the benefit, so it's pretty nice. Another thing to note is if a perk doesn't have a proc chance, then this doesn't do anything. So there's like a perk that gives you like increased minimum hit with a flat percentage. There is no proc there, it just gives you that bonus. So this does nothing. The second thing, invention machines will run twice as fast. So let's quickly touch on invention machines. These are machines you can build using invention materials. You also need a certain invention level, of course. And the options for the machines are an height tanner. This is a machine that tends your height, so you throw them in there. You don't have to look at them, and over time they will be turned into 10th height. This is twice as fast, thanks to this perk. Second one is the partial potion maker. If you throw in clean herbs and vials of water, this will turn them into unfinished potions. Plank maker, speaks for itself. You throw logs in there, it makes planks. Alchemizer, you throw in alchable objects. Like in RuneScape, you have an item called Salvage. This was basically introduced to the mining and smithing rework to replace just straight up armor armor from drop tables, so that armor stays valuable. I'm not sure if that really worked, but that's what they did. So that's generally the most elked item. Some bosses also have specific elkable items, like the elite dungeons. They all have like sets of elkable items. And the last one is the auto disassembler. This disassembles your items. As I said earlier, you need to disassemble items to get invention components, and this machine does that automatically for you. So all the machines run twice as fast as what they usually do. The next benefit: when disassembling or alchemizing items manually, gain the resources from both actions. This does not affect machines or cleaners. So if you use the auto disassembler or the auto alker, you do not get both the outputs. And if you use an invention item called the Dwarven Spring Cleaner, which automatically alks items for you if you get them as drops, this also does not work. It's also important that you can alchemize whilst PVMing. It doesn't like interrupt it. But you cannot disassemble whilst doing this. So this is essentially the golden gold relic from old school, if people remember that or have played that league. You'll see it in a bit as well, because you can basically just disassemble items and it's essentially auto-alking, so it's really convenient. But in this, in the old school variant, you could do it whatever you were doing, didn't matter, and RS3 can do something on the side. Next thing is what actually turns it into golden gold. When disassembling or alchemizing items manually, you have a 66% chance to save the resource. Also does not affect machines or cleaners, obviously. This basically means if you just have a stack of salvage and you start disassembling it, you get the components, which doesn't matter because you have infinite components. And you get gold equivalent to all those items. And in 66%, so in 2/3 of the disassembles, you will actually not use up the item. So you get 66% more gold from everything. That's really awesome. And the last one is a bit smaller. It's unlocking blueprints from the Dwarf and the Goblin tech tree. These are just some tools and items that you can also use, because invention is not just the perks, but you can also make some extra items that have some benefits. A lot of them you just get for free. A few of them are locked behind the tech tree thing, but they're just auto unlocked, so that's basically free. I think for the last part, generally what I go over is like my plans. Since we once again don't know what it's up against, we don't know what tier it is. I would say that I would take this if there's like a bad perk. If there's a better one, I would go for that. This gives a lot of gold, thanks to the golden gold effect, but you don't really need it in RS3. Like anyone who played an Iron Man will know that like gold is not a resource you need a lot of, and you will get plenty by just playing. If you do the right bosses, you also don't even have to stop bossing essentially for energy. So like the free charge can be worked around. And if you want to benefit it, you probably wouldn't use most of the invention machines, except for like the high tenor maybe, but you probably train your crafting another way. And like the potion makers, maybe nice. So it is on one end it's super strong, because the biggest thing is you will not have to hunt bosses for like special perks, like biting that I talked about. You need to disassemble weapons made from a Raxor. And there's also a chance that like you use these components and then it fails. So it will save you a ton of time like perking everything up. But on the other hand, I'm kind of like, that's also like part of the grind. You probably have increased drop rates. So does that matter too much? I don't know. I guess this is, for now, it's a take for me. Because I was not going for the Divine Woodcutter Relic anyways. But once again, it will fully depend on what the other tiers will bring. And thanks so much for watching. That was League Reveals for today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.